Primetime Live continues from the Sony Pictures Studios in Los Angeles. Once again, Diane Sawyer.
And with me, of course, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. Welcome to Primetime. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
It occurs to me, looking at the two of you, I have got to start by asking how this marriage took place, how it began. Let me guess that it was not over miniature golf and a hot dog someplace. When did it start? When was the dating?
Well, we first met. She was 7 years old, and I was 17. This was in Las Vegas. She used to come and see my show all the time. We had the only family show on the Strip. It's the Jackson 5. And she used to come as a little girl and sit right up front. She came quite often. She came with a lot of bodyguards.
And had you stayed in touch over all these years?
Sure. And then she'd come backstage. Then I'd, talk and say hi, and then she'd come again. And I thought she was sweet and loving, and I always hoped I'd see her again.
And who first talked about marriage?
We didn't stay in touch.
We didn't stay in touch after that, no.
He had, go ahead. You want to say it? What happened?
No, you can say. You have a good memory.
No, you said you were going to say it.
Our first argument here on this hour. Who proposed? I mean, how did marriage actually get discussed?
Well, at first, this is what happened. When she was 18, I used to tell my lawyer, John Branca, do you know Lisa Marie Presley? He'd go, well, I represent her mother. I go, well, can you get in touch with her? Because I think she's really cute. And he'd laugh every time. He goes, I'll do my best. That's what he'd say. Then he'd come back. I said, well, did you find out? He said, no, there's nothing. So I would worry him about this all the time. The next thing I noticed, there's a picture on a magazine cover where she's married, which really tore me to pieces. And then, really did, because I felt that was supposed to be me. I really did.
And what was the countdown to your marriage? Tell me who said the word marriage first.
I did.
He did.
I did.
When? Where?
When?
On
where?
the telephone.
Yeah, on the telephone.
He first asked me.
When?
We were dating now for 4 months. Right? 4 months?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, we were spending a lot of time together. I don't know how I didn't manage to get in the press because we weren't hiding it. I was in Las Vegas. We were in Neverland.
Everywhere.
We were everywhere. I went to flew to Atlanta. We were in bookstores. We were not hiding it.
And you said yes right away?
I was separated for 4 months, and he said, what would you do if I asked you to marry me? And I said, I would.
Big I would, though. You were really enthusiastic.
I have to ask you this because I can only imagine the number of lawyers involved in a prenuptial agreement between these two fortunes. Mm-hmm. Is there one? A careful one?
Well, we've worked out things and we've signed certain things, but of course, that's very confidential.
We agree. We made agreements prior, yes.
As you know, the reaction to this marriage, and I know you feel strongly about it, but the reaction to this marriage has been across the spectrum, everything from astonishment to delight to suspicion, that it was somehow too convenient. Lisa, did you ask Michael about the charges? Did the two of you talk about the impact of the marriage on the allegations?
Absolutely not. He called, I was in touch with him through the whole process of this charges going on. I was talking to him when he disappeared. I was actually supposed to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico when he left and disappeared, and I got a call that he wasn't going to be there, and I was actually part of the whole thing with him, but talking to him on the phone. So I didn't...
Did you say to him, are they true?
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come back to the marriage.
Sorry. He went on and on and on about it, so I didn't really have to say, are the allegations true? It was, on the phone, and
over and over
just
again.
Constant, yeah.
Well, because I know that you've wanted to express similar sentiments for a long time, I want to ask a few things about the charges, but first I want to establish for the viewers here, there are no ground rules. You have said to me you are not afraid of any questions. So I wanted that understood by everybody before we proceed. I think I want to begin by making sure that the terms are clear. You have said that you would never harm a child. I want to be specific as I can. Did you ever, as this young boy said you did you ever sexually engage, fondle, have sexual contact with this child or any other child?
Never, ever. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
And what do you think should be done to someone who does that?
To someone who does that, what I think it should be done, gee, I think they need help in some kind of way, you know?
How about the police photographs, though? How was there enough information from this boy about those kinds of things?
The police photographs that they took of me.
Yes.
There was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm sitting here talking to you today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect me.
So when we've heard that there was a marking of some kind.
No markings.
No markings.
No.
Why
am I still here then?
You're not going to ask me about that, are you? Sorry, about the markings.
You can volunteer.
No, the point is that when that finally got concluded that there was no matchup, then it was printed this big, as opposed to how big it was, what the matchup was supposed to be.
It didn't work.
It
isn't so. It's lies. So what I did, we got together again with my advisors, and they advised me, it was hands down, a unanimous decision, resolve the case. This could be something that could go on for 7 years.
How much money
was it?
was
Let's get it behind us.
Can you say how much?
It's not what the tabloids have printed. It's not all this crazy, outlandish money. No, it's not at all. I mean, the terms of the agreement are very confidential.
I want to
He's been
ask
barred to discuss it.
The specific terms.
So
what
it's
specific amounts.
The idea is just isn't fair. What they put me through, because there wasn't one piece of information that says I did that. In any way, they turned my room upside down, went through all my books, all my videotapes, all my private things, and they found nothing that can say Michael Jackson did this. Nothing.
But let me ask you
a couple of questions. To this day, nothing. Still nothing.
Let me ask you
nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing. As you may or may not know, we have called everyone we can call. We have checked everything we can check. We have gone and tried to see if what we heard before is in fact the case. I want to ask you about two things. These reports that we read over and over again, that in your rooms they found photographs of young boys, not of adults.
Young boys, there's children, all kind of girls and everything.
And that they found photographs, books, of young boys who were undressed.
No.
Didn't happen.
No, not that I know of, unless people sent me things that I haven't opened. People know my love for children. So they send me books from all over the world, from South America, from Germany, from Italy, from Sweden.
So if people say that they found those things, if there's an indication, let them come forward, let them produce them, right?
Yeah, because I get all you wouldn't believe the amounts of mail that I get. And if you say to somebody, if I let the fans know I love Charlie Chaplin, I'll be swarmed in Charlie Chaplin paraphernalia. But if I say I love children, which I do, they swarm me with everything pertaining to kids.
Any other settlements in process now or previously with children making these kinds of claims? We have heard that there is one, not a case that the prosecutors would bring in court, but that once again you're talking about shelling out.
No, that's not true. No, it's not true. I think I've heard everything is fine and there are no others.
I guess, let me ask this, and I'm trying to think how to phrase it though. I can hear out in the country people saying, and you've been cleared of all the charges, we want to make that clear. People saying, look, here is a man who is surrounded by things that children love. Here is a man who's been an inordinate amount of time with these young boys.
That's right.
What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy, or a series of them?
Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Come on, that's ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous question. But since people want to hear it, the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed, ever. Children love me, I love them. They follow me, they want to be with me. But anybody can come in my bed. A child can come in my bed if they want.
I can say, sorry, I've seen this. I've seen it a lot. I've seen kids. I've seen him with children in the last year. I've seen it enough to where I can see how that can happen. I understand.
Isn't part of being an adult, and you have a 2-year-old child, 2-year-old boy.
Yeah, let me just, sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I've seen these children, they don't let him go to the bathroom without running in there with him. And they won't let him out of their sight. So when he jumps in the bed, I'm even out. They jump in the bed with him.
But isn't part of being an adult and loving children, keeping children from ambiguous situations? And again, we're talking about over an intense period of time here. Would you let your son, when he grows up and is 12 years old, do that?
You know what? If I didn't know Michael, no way. But I happen to know who he is and what he is. And that makes it, you know, I know that he's not, I know that he's not like that, and I know he has a thing for children, and go ahead, sorry.
I just wonder, is it over? You're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. I think this is really the key thing people want to know, that there are not going to be more of these sleepovers in which people have to wonder.
Nobody wonders when kids sleep over at my house.
But
Nobody
are they
wonders.
over? Are you going to watch out for it now?
Watch out for
just
what?
for the sake of the children and for
No,
everything
because
you've been through?
it's all moral and it's all pure. I don't even think that way. It's not what's in my heart.
So you'll
I would
do it
never,
again?
ever do what again?
I mean, you'll have a child sleeping
Of course.
over.
They want.
Yes.
It's on the level of purity and love and just innocence, complete innocence. If you're talking about sex, and that's a nut. That's not me. Go to the guy down the street, because it's not Michael Jackson. It's not what I'm interested in.
Okay, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, Elizabeth Taylor talked to us a little bit about what she saw when she went over and talked to you in the middle of this and helped you get treatment for addiction to painkillers.
Elizabeth is on the show.
When we come back. As we said, Elizabeth Taylor is going to talk a little bit about when she came to see you in the middle of this, what she called agony. One of the things I think she was so angry about with us was that she said people always talk about one side of a person, they never give them credit for their accomplishments.
That's right.
Particularly what they give to children and the money you give to children. That's how it starts.
When he's on tour, he goes to hospitals without the press following him, without anyone knowing. He'll get up in a disguise and do it, take his disguise off when he's there, and kids know, wow, it's Michael Jackson.
Was there no point at which you said to yourself, reading everything everybody had been reading, maybe this is true, maybe I completely didn't understand who he was?
No way. Absolutely not.
Never.
Never. I know Michael's heart. I know his mind and his soul. I'm not that insensitive, especially to him or people I love.
How did you decide to go to Singapore?
He was my friend. He was alone. He was totally alone. And he just, he needed help. Nothing in the world could have hurt him more if it had been calculated. If they planned an assassination, they couldn't have done it any better. It almost broke his heart.
She says she recognized a friend turning to painkillers for escape.
He wasn't aware of what was happening. He was dulling his pain. But it really frightened me because I have been there. And I know how easy it is to get there when you're in mental or physical pain.
And he knew right away that he had to deal with it too.
Not right away. Not right away, but he knew.
There were some reports during this period, Michael, that it was such agony for you that you were actually suicidal. Is that true?
I was never suicidal. I love life too much to ever be suicidal. I'm resilient. I have rhinoceros skin. Never, ever suicidal.
Did it leave you, though,
Heartbroken, but not suicidal.
did it leave you changed completely? I've talked to you a little bit about what you're thinking about, where you want to live in the world. Did it change your view about living here? You're thinking about living someplace else?
I don't care to stay in America anymore, no. I don't care. I will always have Neverland, you know, because I love Neverland. But I don't like, I'm very sensitive to the smog, you know, so I can't have the smog. And I would like to go abroad. Matter of fact, I am.
You are? Where?
Yes. Oh, I haven't decided the exact place yet. Probably South Africa.
To
maybe.
live permanently?
Maybe Switzerland.
Lisa, are
Can
you
we just
in
change-
favor of it?
Wait, just go into the fact that we don't live in separate houses to start
Yeah,
this
we don't
with?
even. This is just
This is
me dreaming.
ridiculous. Where are the cameras? Anyway, sorry.
No, jump in.
What do I feel about the overseas thing? I think that it's a nice place to visit, yes. I would like to have a house over there. Would be completely and utterly harassed beyond belief, but...
Before we move away from the last 2 years, we told you, because we want to, that we are going to show what is really your comment on those 2 years, and it is a video you have done with your sister Janet called Scream. And in it, you have some words for middle-aged people who can't follow these words. The words you'll hear will be about confusion, bashing, victimizing. Stop pressuring me, he says. Makes me want to scream. The last 2 years. We have some wedding video of the two of you, and I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here. If our director, Roger Goodman, wants to roll it in, we will take you there a year ago, right?
Yes.
Just about exactly.
I look like an idiot, I can tell you that.
You don't look like an idiot. You look more like a, no.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
We're watching it.
Tell us.
Oh, we're watching.
Tell us, we're watching here live.
Celda usted por legítimo esposo, el señor Michael Joseph Jackson.
Lisa Marie Presley, yeah. Do you accept Michael Jackson?
Michael Joseph.
I do.
Michael Joseph Jackson.
I do. In the middle, he asks for the autograph.
Yo, licenciado Hugo Francisco Álvarez Pérez.
Licenciado Hugo
You know,
Álvarez Pérez.
Oficial de Estados
You're more.
Unidos de la República.
Yeah, I did.
Right, but now we're out of time.
Los declaro unidos en legítimo matrimonio.
Okay, if you have the ring.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, and then we're gonna do the rings, okay?
You do it?
Yes.
He do it.
How do I know?
He does first. You put it on her first, okay? And when you put it, you say, with this ring, I do it.
This ring, I do it.
Right. And you do it the same thing. When you put his ring, as you say, with this ring, I do it.
Right now?
So, I know that you, Lisa Marie, have wanted to talk about this. There are a lot of doubters about this marriage. I've heard that it's a Scientology plan. You are a member of the Church of Scientology, which is said to influence its members greatly, and that the husband you divorced was Scientologist, and he's still very much in your life, and this is all part of a calculation to get Michael and his money into the church.
Yeah, it's crap. I'm sorry. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm not, first of all, you can't get influenced by anything like that. And under a term of a marriage, I'm not going to marry somebody for any reason other than the fact that I fall in love with them. Period. Period. And they can eat it if they want to think anything different.
To put it succinctly.
Yeah.
What is it you love the most about him?
What do I love the most about him? Everything. He's amazing. I really admire him. I respect him. I admire him. I'm in love with him. And no, we don't sleep in separate bedrooms. Thank you very much. And I love everything about him.
To finish up on that, though, are you a Scientologist? Or
No.
no? Plan to become one?
I believe in spirituality, and I believe in a higher source, such as God, but I'm not a Scientologist. I read everything. I like to read. I love to study.
You said you don't sleep in separate bedrooms, and I'm going to confess, okay, this is live TV, and I'm copping out right here because I didn't spend my life as a serious journalist to ask these kinds of questions. But I'm not oblivious to the fact that your fans had one question they most wanted to ask of you.
Do we have sex?
We have you.
She didn't ask.
I didn't
I
ask.
won't ask. Okay.
You don't know what it
Go
was
ahead.
going to be.
Is that what you were going to ask?
Let's play just a minute or two.
Sorry.
Let's play one or two.
We want to know if you've done the thing.
Michael, I know that this is an intimate question, but are you having sex together with Lisa Marie?
Do you guys really love each other, or you're just doing this to satisfy the media?
Are you guys intimate?
Again,
I can't believe
Wow.
But this is about the skepticism.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And we have read in the papers that you are expecting a child.
We will be expecting a child. No, when, I'm not going
We're
to.
not going to say when.
It's
Or
personal.
It's in the hands of the heavens.
But not yet.
Did
Well-
we marry out of convenience? That's really interesting to me.
That's
It's really
ridiculous.
interesting to me.
Why?
Well, why wouldn't we have a lot in common? That's the question. Why? Why not?
Like we're faking this?
Like,
That's the
no,
most ridiculous
but you
thing
can't
in
live
the
with
world.
somebody day to day. We're together all the time, first of all. Second thing, how can you fake that 24 hours a day with somebody, sleeping with somebody, waking up with somebody, having
The dumbest thing
He's
I've
running
ever
around the
heard.
house, I'm running around the house. You were in our house. We have a normal house. We have a nanny. We have a maid. And we walk around, and he's either in the studio, I'm in the kitchen. We're running around like normal. I know it's hard to believe people.
You go shopping together,
We go shopping. We go out to dinner. We argue sometimes.
And
About what, may I say?
we also
No,
heard a report that maybe you were planning to adopt the children.
Oh, I would love to adopt children. I think that's something I've always wanted to do. But children of all races, Arab children, Jewish children, black children, just all races.
But Lisa's children,
I love Lisa's children, but it's been a
not
mission.
going to adopt, or
Pardon?
to adopt them, though.
Oh, I love her children. They're sweet.
But to adopt, no.
Of course.
They have a biological father, and he's their...
I think they love me very much. I love them.
They do.
We have a lot of fun.
But I've never heard of that before, personally, of someone adopting someone's children while they're in a relationship with that person.
We're going to take a break for a minute and come back with more questions.
Okay.
We're going to show you a film now created by Michael Jackson, and it is causing a furor in some movie theaters around this country. They say, among other things, that it is clearly modeled after Triumph of the Will, Leni Riefenstahl, a Nazi film with
It's not
Nazi
true. None of that's
imagery.
true. None of those things are true.
Did you watch that film before you did it?
I watch everything. I love movies. I love documentaries. Had nothing to do with that at all.
But there are people who keep saying, this is, they look at it and say, this is,
Absolutely not.
you know what?
Nothing to do with politics or communism or fascism
Well,
at all.
the critics have said that it's the most boldly vainglorious self-deification a pop singer ever undertook with a straight face.
Good. That's what I wanted.
For the controversy?
Yeah.
And
They
for the
fell into my trap.
for the
I
people
wanted,
who say that-
I wanted everybody's attention.
But for the people who say those symbols matter,
No,
they're about suffering.
No. Symbols have nothing to do with that. It's not political. It's not fascist. It's not dogma. It's not, ideology and all of this stuff. It's pure, simple love. You don't see any tanks. You don't see any cannons. It's about love. It's people coming together.
About love. We're going to let
Happy.
everybody watch a bit.
Yeah, but it's art. It's art.
Okay.
The way a director would
The
use a
short
medium to
excerpt
create
coming
art.
up. Here it comes. As we said, we're going to clearly agree to disagree maybe on what this means to some people watching it. There's been another issue raised. In a song you say, "Jew me, sue me," and some people are saying that that is anti-Semitic.
It's not anti-Semitic because I'm not a racist person. I could never be a racist. I love all races of people, from Arabs to Jewish people, like I said before, to blacks. But when I say Jew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me, I'm talking about myself as the victim. You know, my accountants and lawyers are Jewish. My three best friends are Jewish. David Geffen, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg, Mike Milken. These are friends of mine. They're all Jewish. So how does that make sense? I was raised in a Jewish community.
I want to ask you both about something, because it was the second most asked question by people on the street. And I know it's a sensitive issue for you, and you talked with Oprah about it. But somehow people still are not, they don't feel they've heard everything about the whiteness of your skin, and that it's not somehow a choice on your part, along with the makeup, to be, is it to be neither black or white, neither to look completely male, to be in the androgynous zone? I think they want to know, it is a decision on your part some way, the way you look. Where does it come from?
I think it creates itself, nature.
He's an artist. He has every right, and he is constantly remodifying something or changing it or reconstructing it or, you know, working on some imperfection that he thinks needs to be worked on. If he sees something he doesn't like, he changes it. Period. He re-sculpted himself. He's an artist.
I might want to put a red dot right there one day. But 2 eyes right here.
Do you wish you were the color you were again?
Do I wish I was the color? You have to ask nature that. I love black. I love.
Do you wish
black.
you were that way?
I envy her because she can tan and I can't.
One more question I want to make sure I ask. Are you going to sing together?
No. I would love to sing with you. Would you like to sing with me?
You don't sing?
I don't sing. I did sing, but that's not why I married Michael. I don't need that. That's ridiculous. If I wanted it, I mean, I'm not going to marry someone for a recording career, just to clear that up as well.
What? Stop. I'm going to let the two of you duke this out over here. And as our hour ends, I'd like to just ask each of you for a one-sentence answer. Time's so short. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Oh, boy. I love what I'm doing now and to do everything I can to help the children. And hello, Bobby Sherritt.
I just want people to know what they're dealing with before and understand that I'm not the, you know, that we are not. The jokes, the degrading comments, all that kind of stuff, it's really irritating. So I didn't get to get into that. This is over already, but stuff.
We want to choke them.
All right,
yeah,
so 5 years.
Don't believe the garbage. All the tabloid junk. Don't read it. Don't listen to it. It's garbage. It's junk. It's stupid.
And so,
enough of it.
And tonight is over. Look at that.
He's a nut. He's a nut.
We'll probably have some final thoughts on all this ourselves.
Have you seen my childhood? I'm searching for the word.